having a good day so far. If you are new here, my name is Emily, and if you like what you see, I hope you stick around and hit that subscribe button to become part of my family here, because I absolutely love to inspire and motivate you. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I decorated my home on a budget. I'm going to give you 10 different ways that you can do this. I hope that you guys enjoy this style video and know that this applies whether you are renting or if you own your home. I know a lot of people feel like if they're renting, they can't decorate exactly the way they want to, and that's not the case. You totally can. So I'm going to hopefully these tips will be helpful to you, and let's go ahead and get started. So number one is to go out thrifting for your items. There's tons of different places you can get used decor. You can go to yard sales, you can go to the Goodwill, you can go to Salvation Army, you can go to antique fairs or antique malls, whatever the case. Usually antique stores tend to be a little bit more expensive, so I would maybe do those on the second round per se, than hitting those first. Try to do the yard sales and the Goodwill and things like that. And Goodwill, you guys, actually carries a ton of things from Target and other stores. So whatever the overstock is, they will get sent that. So you can get a lot of the items for dirt cheap. And also find really neat vintage pieces, things that nobody else has in their home, which I find really beautiful. I like having pieces in my home that not everybody else has, because I feel like it just makes it more special. And so like one of the pieces is this wall decor piece behind me. I found that at the Salvation Army for $12, and I painted it with some spray paint, and it looks like black iron now. So for a total of $15, I have a huge decor piece that makes a massive statement. Everybody wants to know where it came from, and I'm like, oh, it came from the Goodwill, and they are blown away by that. So just know that you don't have to break the budget in order to decorate your home, because you can find some really awesome pieces. Number two is to DIY the decor. You guys know that I love doing DIYs, and it's something that I've done before I even had my channel, where if I went out to a store and I saw something, my mind would go in circles trying to figure out how I could design that piece and do it myself for a fraction of the cost. You guys would be surprised at how many items that you can actually DIY using Dollar Tree products, things from Walmart, etc. It's just unbelievable how many people pay that full price when it's like you can do it yourself, which I know requires a little bit of time, but it's so worth it for saving that amount of money, and it makes it a little bit more special. And then guess what? If you don't like it after a while, you can toss it and not worry about the fact that you didn't spend $100. You spent $10 creating it, and it's not that big of a deal if you don't like it anymore. My decor style has changed a ton, and it's still changing, but that's the thing that I like about decorating my home on a budget, so that if I decide to change my style, I'm not too worried about the fact that I've spent a gazillion amount of money on decorating, because I haven't. I've DIY'd a lot of the projects, and I've done thrifting and whatnot. Okay, so before I start blabbing too much, let's just get into the other tips. Number three is to paint. Paint makes a world of a difference. A can of paint can be anywhere between $10 and $30, depending on what you're going for, but it makes a beautiful difference. It can really transform a room. You can paint the walls, you can paint furniture. Paint does wonders. You can use it for anything. The coffee table behind me, when I first got this, it was handed down to me, and it was an ugly, like, oak color. I just hated it. And when we first got married, I actually stained this a dark ebony black stain, and it was beautiful. And then as my style has been changing, I decided I didn't like that, and guess what? I repurposed it again. I sanded it down, painted it, and then sanded it down, and I have this beautiful chippy coffee table now that I didn't have to spend very much money on. Honestly, I think it cost me like maybe $5 because I already had the paint, and I just took a little bit of my time. So there's ways that you can decorate without spending a lot, and using paint to do that is key. Number four is to add curtains to a space. Now, I know that a lot of people feel like, oh, if I rent, I can't add curtains. Yes, you can. You can add curtain rods to that place, I'm telling you, and what you do is when you go to leave that place, you take the curtain rods down, you put some spackle on the wall, and you paint over it. It's not a big deal. Same thing if you are renting and you want to paint the wall, it's okay. Paint the wall. I promise you, it's fine. We did it in our apartment. They said as long as that paint color goes back to neutral, we don't care. Great, not a problem. So I spent, I painted our first apartment. I had one green wall in it, and it was beautiful. All I did was prime it and put it back to the white, and I didn't get fined at all. They were totally fine with it. They did not care. And honestly, maintenance really doesn't care either. Let me tell you. Another thing that you can do if you are renting, which is number five, is to change out the knobs on your decor. So if you have a bathroom, if you have a dresser or something, and you don't like the way it looks, paint it and change out the knobs, or if it's already painted, just change out the knobs. Knobs aren't too expensive. You can find them at Hobby Lobby, Lowe's, World Market. You can find them a ton of different places. Even IKEA has them, and they can range anywhere from $1 to maybe $5 at most. Well, you can obviously get higher in price, but you can find some really cool pieces. You can even shop on eBay for the knobs and whatnot. So don't feel like you have to, throw out a complete piece of furniture just because you don't like the color of it or you don't like the knobs. You can change those out. I did that to my son's dresser. I painted it and then I added knobs, and it cost me $50 to paint it and to add knobs. It's beautiful now. I love it. So 6 is to use baskets for your decor. Baskets are perfect for organization, but they also add that really warm element to a space. You may not like that wicker color look to a basket, but you can paint the baskets. You can spray paint them or paint them by hand, whatever you want to do. But baskets are very versatile. They're great for storage, like I said, but you can use them to decorate pieces. You can add florals to them. There's lots of different possibilities that you can do with baskets, so I really like adding those to my decor. Number 7, I think we're on, is adding florals to it. You can use fake or you can use real. Real tend to be a little bit more expensive. You can find cheaper florals like at Costco or at Trader Joe's. If you want some fresh florals in your home and they smell beautiful, or just even cutting them from your garden or your neighbor's yard, ask them if you can do that. So it's kind of like a free-ish type of decor as well. But if you don't like fresh because they tend to wilt after about a week or so, whatnot, you can do fake florals. I love fake florals. I have way too many fake florals, but I love them because I can transform my home for any different season, which I absolutely love doing, by just adding different colored florals. So for summer, I added more whites and yellows to my decor, and that was really easy. For Christmas, I might add some reds and greens. For spring, I added loads of pink. You don't have to change your decor for every season, but if you want to do like some simple things, add fake florals to it. And greenery is timeless. Greenery you can keep up your all year round, and it is going to look beautiful. It's going to look fresh, and you guys, it just makes a world of a difference. So invest in a few pieces. Hobby Lobby has great floral prices when they have 50% off. You can get back florals for 50 cents to maybe $5 at most. And you can slowly build up over time, but their greenery, their garlands, can be $5 to $10 on sale, and they are beautiful, and you can use them year-round for Christmas, Thanksgiving, spring, whatever you want, you can use them, and I love that. I think I'm on number 8 now, but that is to add mirrors to your decor. Now, mirrors on a wall open up the space. If you are living in an apartment, which most apartments are very closed in, lots of walls, are not open concept, mirrors can open up that space so much. And you can find mirrors at yard sales, you can find mirrors at Hobby Lobby, at Home Goods. There's plenty of places that you can find mirrors. Even Target has really good ones. And you don't have to break the bank on them. You can buy just a regular flat panel mirror, and you can add wood trim around it and really beef it up a bit and make it look really large and grand, and it just changes the room so much. Something that I did in our apartment, entered into it, I had a big mirror up on the wall because it opened up this space into the living room, and people, when they walked in, like, your home just feels larger than it is. And I'm like, I know, it's because I added mirrors to the space. You can add mirrors above mantles. It just opens up the space. I think I've said that like a gazillion times enough, but mirrors are wonderful. They bring in that natural light as well, especially if you reflect it off of a window or whatnot. Mirrors do wonders. Number 9 is to add a gallery wall. Gallery walls are really pretty. You don't have to break the bank. I have a beautiful gallery wall in my house, and I'm working on making some other ones because I love pictures, and I've done that throughout my house. But I've actually shopped for the frames at Goodwill and Salvation Army and things like that. If you thrift the frames, you can paint them whatever color you want, and they make a huge difference. You can also just buy matting for the frames if you want larger matting and a smaller picture. That looks very clean up on a wall. So you could have a lot of pictures on a wall, but it looks very grand and it takes up a lot of space, and it can look very clean if you have larger matting and you use more muted colors. So I think having the frames match, or using maybe 2 or 3 different color frames like gold, or brass and black and white are very nice. I have mainly white on my wall right now because I have a blue wall with it. There's just different ways that you can do a gallery wall. That's actually something I'm going to share with you guys soon. For the playroom, I'm going to be doing one in there. I'm just so excited. It's taking me a while to do it because I'm making them with my signs and whatnot. But you know, you can make decor. It's very easy. Don't feel like you have to go out and spend $20 or $30 on things. Number 10 is don't break the bank on large pieces of furniture like your sofas and things. I know that a lot of people will disagree with this, but the majority of people will go out and spend an arm and a leg on a sofa. And I'm talking like $1,000+ on it, and it will not last longer than the cheaper sofas that you can buy. IKEA is a great place to shop for furniture as far as sofas go and things like that. I always thought they were super cheap and whatnot, but after talking to a ton of different people about them and talking to a lot of older people about raising kids and whatnot, they said do not spend a ton of money on really expensive furniture, especially when your kids are young and even through the high school years, because they jump on it, they just sit on it a lot, they're constantly going and whatnot, and it's just kind of, it's not per se a jungle gym, they don't have to be like animals on it, but basically it just breaks down over time. And a lot of them have said that we spent, you know, $2,000 on a sofa and it lasted just as long as that IKEA sofa, and it was like, why did we waste our money on that? You know, a lot of them spend a little bit more money later on for a more design piece, because if you want something tufted and whatnot, that can cost a little bit more. But don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money. The sofa behind me, you can get at IKEA for $250 to $450. It is great, it's comfortable, we have used it a ton and I like it, it's great quality, and I can switch out the slip cover on it, which is amazing. So if I don't want it to be white, I can do cream, I think they have yellow, they have charcoal, they have a ton of different colors. So if you buy a piece of furniture, make sure you can add a slip cover to it, especially if you have children. That is key, because let me tell you, people are like, you have white furniture with kids, are you crazy? And I thought, at first I was like, I don't think I should do this, and I did it, and I was like, oh my goodness. But guess what? There's a washing machine and it's called laundry soap and OxyClean. You can totally clean the furniture, and I like that, especially if you have animals too. It's just a great way to save a lot of money, and you can change out your slip covers as the year goes on. And honestly, IKEA is the best type of slip cover you can buy. I hope that you guys found these decorating tips helpful, and how you can decorate your house on a budget, not break the bank, and still let it feel warm and welcoming. And remember, the key is less is more. Don't feel like you have to fill up every wall. I'm still learning this. I love seeing something on every wall, but I'm slowly taking down a little bit as I go, because the cleaner the walls, the cleaner the home feels. So just remember that. It can still feel warm and welcoming, but it can be clean and minimal at the same time. Let me know down below if you have any decorating tips that maybe I haven't covered, because I'd love to maybe do a second part to this video if you guys want me to. So make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and also hit that subscribe button as well, and the notification bell, that way you don't miss out on any future videos. I hope that you guys have a beautiful, wonderful day. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.